Man alive, you forget, well I forget every time I do this climb just how relentless it is. Just those first 3-4 kilometers, just straight up. I'm blinking from the sweat of my eyes. But it is the best I've ever had up here in terms of conditions. There's not a breath of wind, the sun is shining, and trails I hope will be dry because it's been pretty rain free the last wee while. So let's get to it. Next time you see me, hopefully I'll either be at the top or I'll be vomiting in a ditch at the side of the trail. So 50-50, see what happens. Nope, just dry heaves. We're good, we're still good. Now, this is still only not a regular trail for me, so it's not so I'm going to be... Now, I've not ridden it much since then, so I'm still going to be forgetting where stuff goes, but let's have a nice time. So dropping in from the start, you want to go right at the fence. Stuff is getting dug out, getting right ruddered in. A lovely wee prologue. Now this trail along this ridge, there's a few little peaks as you go, but each time you peak you're getting a little bit lower every time, so it's not a solid descent the whole way. More undulating at times. 4 kilometers in length. I think you drop 325 meters over those 4 kilometers, with the infamous slabs at the end and the Aberdeenshire Trail Association reroute as your little final delight at the end, before coming along the road back into Ballater. There's a number of cairns, so whenever there's a cairn, you know that's the peak, or the next peak, and you're downhill from there. So you can basically break this up into a series of joined little descents and mini climbs. Take your time and rest, or you can daisy chain it all together into a continuous effort, depending how fit or honest you are. Whew. But this bit here, it just opens up and you can see the whole trail dancing off ahead of you as you come through these natural rock gardens. And this granite is really grippy, so even in the wet you've got traction for days. And in the dry, that kind of moon dust in between everything just keeps everything that little bit interesting. There's a trail There's no perfect bike. Any given section, because the variety and length of it. Sometimes you'll have the ideal bike. Sometimes you won't. You'll see everything from full-on downhill rigs, e-bikes, 120mm travel, down country rigs to full enduros. I'd say the sweet spot would be somewhere between the trail and the enduro bike. Because you're never going to be too far under or over biked at any given point. But you want a tyre and rim combo you can trust. There are other local ridgeline style trails like this. The main one that comes to mind would be Hill of Fair, but this one is still the most iconic, probably most visited. And it's easy to see why. With its combination of views, mixed technicality, and sense of accomplishment, it's an iconic Aberdeenshire trail, and one that if you live in the area, if you're visiting, you really should have ticked off. First, Bichon freeze on the trail. That's the first of the slabs. That will set this trail apart locally. Start to get wider and wider slabs with little lines of rocks marking the route. Keep you both on pace because sometimes you can't see where the trail exits that slab on the other side. Oh, done that before. Like that line there, just making sure you just don't dive straight down the wrong way into the heather. The climb to get up though, however, man alive. I won't be embarrassed to admit that. If I cleared that in an hour, I would be pleased with myself. And time to stop for pictures and piss. So now the character starts to change a bit. A bit more and more slabs, hinting at what's to come further on when we start to get steeper. We have the added fun of some roots as we start to get closer to the tree line, as these stunted little weather-beaten pines start to remind us of how much we've actually dropped. Now, if memory serves, as you're coming up to the slabs, which are just up here, they just kind of open up out of nowhere. You're not expecting them. Now, the granite is very grippy, so the slabs are more about exposure and your own confidence in your grip than sheer technicality. Everything's rollable, everything you can take at a low speed. Just take your time, spot your exit, and roll on through. Big old slabs. As we come towards the final section, as we re-enter the tree line properly. As we come into the tree line, character of the trail changes once again as we enter the diversion from a few years ago now, built by the Aberdeenshire Trail Association. Oh, that'll get the dentures out. We're into much more flowy, bermed style trail, albeit still with its technical features and the characteristic rocks of this hill. As we approach the final section, that's it. That's the trail. And that's Heartbreak Ridge.